Hello everybody and welcome back to finally my first introduction video for the TherapSID. Let's close this recording screen because I finally have a device working together with the TherapSID, or maybe I pronounce it wrong because according to a friend, and he was right, I was checking the website from the creator. Oh man, my memory is failing me today. Alex is the maker, but Twisted Electrons. So I was checking the website of Twisted Electrons and see that it's actually not what ChatGPT said, that it was TherapSID, so that the SID sound gives you therapy, it's ease of mind. So that was not the thought behind the product. It was because of the rough sounds of the SID chip. It's like velociraptor. Man, these words are hard to pronounce, but it's like what has been living in the past. The dinosaurs of yesteryear, so to speak, long before we came on this planet. So this is actually a beast of a machine. And yeah, I can see where they are coming from. So finally, I have it all set up. Let me first explain you how everything is connected and why my Genius 2 keyboard is able to record what I am doing on the TherapSID. And then we are going to play and see what we can do with this device. Bear in mind, this is for me only the second time that I've tried it, because I needed to be sure that it was working before I was making this video. But other than that, I haven't made too much new sounds myself. The first sounds that I did was actually the first patch that comes in the TherapSID is a sound that Alex has been putting in there. The only thing that I've changed is the attack, decay, sustain, release register, because I wanted to have a bit more, when you ease off the note, that it lasts longer. Let me show you what I mean. But let me see. Yeah, there it is. Oh, oops. I haven't played this song in a long time. And as you can see, when I'm trying to press more keys, you only get to hear one. Because the TherapSID is in single player note. As you can hear now, there's no sustain. So when you release, immediately the sound dies off. But and as you can hear, the playing sounds more smooth instead of when we're turning it back again. So you have to be way more precise with your timing. And when you are... Oh, let me just recall my preset. So as you can hear, that is something that you can do, but there's more. When you're in single note mode, you can also use other functions like the arpeggiator. Let me see if I can get it to work. Or maybe... Ah, there we go. Yes, we got the proper... So when you are in this mode, the single note mode, you can use the arpeggiator and all these effects that are in there. And as you can hear, there are lots of different arpeggiator effects with the speed and the width between the notes and everything that you can change. We're back to single player note with the sustain that I did on it. And now I want to show you the mode where you can play in chords. It doesn't matter what button, as long as it lights up, and you keep holding it until the screen says PA. And now, no sound, reselect the patch. As you can hear, it sounds better because now there are 3 voices being played at the same time and you get a nice warm effect because of this. And also when you So, as you can hear, that's quite fun. And you know what makes this more special? That you're actually playing with the sound chips from the Commodore 64. Yes, that blew my mind. In the past, when you hear the music on the Commodore 64, and I was playing keyboard at that time, I always thought to myself, oh man, I wish I could play music with the sound of the Commodore like these game developers do. Like Jeroen Tel, for instance, or Rob Hubbard, or Galway, or you can name them all. These guys that could make the SID chip swing. And then, finally, years later, a friend of mine, Kenneth, bought a product that you have to build yourself. And you could actually play with these sounds. There were not so much tweaking possibilities on it, but at least you could play with the SID chip. So the start was born. And too bad Kenneth didn't actually also saw the birth of the TherapSID, but he did manage to score the TherapSID when the 3rd revision, and final revision I must say, came to fruition. And so, 4 years or something longer after that, Alex knows exactly when the TherapSID Mark III was released. But from the release date till now, for me just a few weeks back, I finally got my hands on the TherapSID myself. And so, now you're being able to play music with Commodore sounds. Let me switch back to that other mode. Off. So now we're in single note mode again and we're going back to the first patch. Why? Because I want to show you more. I will ease off the... Yes, now it's a bit more natural instead of the long release time. And now we're going to swap the sound shape. Because right now we are on sawtooth. On your Commodore, you had to program with poke numbers and data and whatever. I never got to learn how to actually get sound from the SID chip when it was still inside of your Commodore 64. Unless it was a music program where you can play with the keys on your Commodore to make music. But it's not the same as with a musical instrument. So let's switch to the first one, that's square wave. Let's swap to a different sound. and that is the sinus. Yes. So, on the TherapSID you can go 1 octave up. As you can see, when I keep holding the note and I turn the knob, the note will transport to this one. And you can do the same down. Back to 0. And that was the lowest note. So 1 octave up, 1 octave down. And you can, with all these things together, you can even, when you're in single player note, combine the 3 voices in one go. So we go to sawtooth and we go to the square wave also. And now we have them all 3 layered on top of each other. With a modern instrument, you just say part 1, part 2, that is the 80s ballad hit. And we do another layer, a classic nylon open guitar. And you layered 3 voices on top of each other. But this one is always in full mode that you can use all the keys, unless you are playing a synthesizer sound and you go into the settings. Oh, that's the wrong way to go into the settings. Voice. And then you can say, you can activate, for instance, let's put the piano in mono mode. Mono. That is so weird. A modern instrument like the Genus, and then you say, no, you can only play 1 note at the same time. So actually you can make a more basic version of your powerful flagship arranger just by saying, no, today you are making 1 sound at the same time. So I have selected these 3 sounds. Oh man, that is weird. Let's try to get this sound better. I just dislike the flute, so let's just deactivate the flute. Oh, that is funny. So you can hear that you can easy. Let's just cycle through a few things that were built in the TherapSID when you buy one yourself. So there are a few that doesn't work or maybe supposed to work in a different mode. But I will not do them all because then the video will take too long. But I will show you a little bit of the basics. And I did this also myself when I first turned it on, because the first time that I got a problem that my keyboard wouldn't actually want to cooperate. Oh man, I say the keyboard and suddenly I spring into my mind, I forgot to explain how everything is connected. Man, I know a proper YouTuber would have made a script on how you make the video. Me, I just wing it. I have an idea for a video, I sit down, I press record and we go. But I will explain first how everything is connected and why it's able to record my sound from the TherapSID. And then we continue on. So the first thing I did, you got 2 audio output. It's not a stereo device, it's mono, but it uses 2 chips from the Commodore 64. You can use a single chip, but then there's no polyphonic mode available to play because the SID chip only can make 3 sounds. And maybe you can get the 3 sounds working. I haven't tried. According to my friend, it was better to play, if you have 2 different SID chips, to play with either the old one or the new one. Here there are 2 ARM SID chips in there, and they are both adjusted to the same SID chip, the newer one, because I want to have a stable sound. So when you're playing octaves, or I mean chords, more than one note, you get a nice stable sound instead of that unpredictable behavior of the old SID chip. So you got SID chip 1 and SID chip 2 sends the sound of the TherapSID in the auxiliary from the Genus 2. So actually how I connected my Tyros 4 that was above my Genus 2 to the Genus, so I can just connect everything in one go to the speakers and I have sound. So now I just send the sound of the TherapSID to the keyboard and the keyboard will send it to the speakers. It also has another advantage. The settings for the mixer and for the equalizer, the filter, on the wrong panel. All these settings you can do on your keyboard, and that will also influence the recording quality. And so that is the first thing that is positive about this. And the other thing is that I do no longer need more stuff to carry with me. Or for instance, if I want to have it not connected to the Genus, but to my speakers, it only has one stereo input. And for the rest, it's not the same connectors anymore. So to get sound from it, I should buy a mixer so I can get 2 sound sources connected to my system. So I avoid this by just connecting it to the keyboard. Then there is the MIDI cable. Since I am using it as a synthesizer module, I only need MIDI out on the keyboard, or in this case, because the TherapSID didn't work so nicely with the Genus 2, I use Arturia, there it was, the Keylabs Essential 61 notes. And that is from MIDI out to MIDI in on the TherapSID. And that makes the music. So back in, where was I going to cycle through all these notes. So now you know the MIDI makes sure that what I do on the keyboard, he will understand what I want from it and sends the audio to my Genus, and the Genus will send it to the speakers. This is how everything is connected. Okay, let's continue. And as you can see, when you stop playing, it looks like it switched itself off. But no, it still responds. But only when you play on it, then all the lights will come back on. It's a nice feature, so you're not using too much power consumption. When, for instance, you decide to play only on your regular keyboard instead of using the 8-bit SID chips. Because it's difficult to match the sound quality of this to this. So I think I have to find a way to make it more feel as one. Because right now, when I play something on the Genus 2 and I add in some sounds from the Commodore 64 SID chips that the TherapSID makes, then it sounds like a Commodore 64 is trying to overshout a regular keyboard. And I want it to feel more connected. But that's something that I'll have to learn, and maybe I can get this to work. Yeah, that means I have to dive into how sound creating works so you can get more full sound of it. But there we go. Enough talking. Let's cycle through the sounds and then we will end the video. And because you saw with the first patch that the sound quality is different when you play in multi-timbre mode or single note mode. We will do a few of them in one mode and then the other. So, let's see. It's even a stereo effect, and this is because of the sounds are being played a few buttons on the SID chip 1 that's connected to the left channel, and the other is being played on the SID chip 2 on the right channel. Sounds like a bass guitar, especially if you go lower. If you keep on pressing it, you keep on getting a sound out of it. But when you release, it takes some time before that extra layer of sound comes. So it's a nice way to show what you can do when a certain sound is being added to the mix. So it's actually amazing that an old sound chip from 1982 can do this. Well, okay, the chips that are in here, they are not from 1982, but they are modern makes of the old chip. But since it's being created to replace dying SID chips, it is actually a SID chip. It still makes the Commodore 64 sounds the way it should sound. And actually, from all the SID replacement chips, so far, according to most YouTubers that I searched on the internet, that this is the best SID chip replacement. And I must say, so far I agree. Man, that has a long delay time. Let's go to number 10 and that's enough. And that is what I meant with rough sounds. When you play, sometimes there's like sometimes it sounds very linear and thin, and then suddenly there's a bit of an extra rough effect. Alarm! We're being attacked! Oh man. Oh, that one is actually nice. And how low can we go? Yeah, that can be used. Cool. Yeah. So let's go back to number 1 in that other mode. And let's turn it to PA. And then reselect number 1. Oh, that's why. Man, you could use that in a space game. it feels like every note is in a different key position. So when I want to match it to my keyboard, it's tweaking all the time. But I must say, but that will come in a different video, you can also make changes to the sounds and when you like it, because I want to have everything, if this is a C, then this is not a C. So I want them to match each other, and I'm not going to match my keyboard to the TherapSID. It's the other way around, because this is not false. But that's a thing for myself to remember. No. Remember the chord routine? And the next run, I will a short bit sing along to it. On the dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. Whatever. It's for me difficult to sing and play at the same time. So, but it doesn't matter. We come to the end of part 10, and you've heard what you can do with it and a little bit of the basics. And I've even managed to get an arpeggio going. And now I also need to learn with the filters, because that's where Rob Hubbard, the Maniacs of Noise, Jeroen Tel, all these guys were getting these hilarious and awesome sounding sounds out of it. And then Nordic sound comes in and creates original music with SID chip sounds. Man, that was an awesome, and that is an awesome combination. And I really love it. So yeah, that's also why I wanted to have this. Now I can finally make music with Commodore sounds. And if I can find a way to match these most famous kind of like sounds, then you will hear this back on the channel. Well, but for now we will keep it at this. And if I can get some cool tune out of it by just recording everything separately, so it will take a lot of time, because I must make a sound, record it, and then when it's done from start to finish, the whole song, then I need to save this. Then I need to create a new sound. For instance, a bass guitar, a lead guitar, the lead voice, things like that, a rhythm guitar. But I have decided, because it's so much work creating these sounds, I have decided I wanted to make the drums with Commodore 64 sounds too. But before you get a drum sound out of this, that takes a lot of time. And a drum kit exists of like a bass drum, a snare drum, 3 tom drums or more, but let's stick to 3 for the moment. And then a crash, a hi-hat open, a hi-hat closed. Man, that were a lot of different instruments. And each note you make, or instrument, each part of the drum kit, you make separately. So I truly appreciate the work that musicians like Nordic Sounds put into their sound productions. So, well, let's stop with the chatting, because I can keep on rambling on. There's so much you can do with it, and so much that I want to try with it, that there's plenty of ideas to use the TherapSID. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you got some questions or ideas, let me know in the comments. And I hope to see you back in the next video. Goodbye.